Yo, what is up, guys? Grim here, and today is going to be my day 4 and 5 update for the Incursion League. So I didn't have an update yesterday, and I haven't been streaming the past few days. I've been pretty sick, unfortunately, and I'm only getting sicker, sadly. But we're still playing some PoE. We're still going to do the YouTube videos. I'm going to make sure I'm getting those videos out for you guys, and you get that Incursion content. So we got some new items to go over, and we're going to cover those. So we got a couple Ventus Gambles here. They were pretty cheap. They're not too much to write home about, but they get the job done. So they're pretty nice, pretty sweet. We got those on there. We decided as a team to test out Abisco's collar. It's pretty nice. It's pretty good in the incursion specifically because a lot of the monsters are normal in magic. There's only like one or two or three rares, and there's a ton of density. So after you get out of that alva incursion, it's pretty juicy, especially if you're doing the chaos recipe. So that's pretty nice. I farmed myself up a dying sun after one of the streams. When everyone jumped off, I decided to just do a few more hours and get that done. So we got that bad boy, which is pretty nice. And we're starting to piece together some Autobomber gear. So we've got a Watcher's Eye, we've got a Coming Calamity, and some of that good stuff there. So a lot of people are asking about the team dynamic. How does it work? So when everyone's on, we're going to be farming up more currency for the team. Obviously, I've got the Headhunter, so I don't need any more. But then in my off time, when I'm not playing with the team, I'm farming channels right now, and that's how I got the Watcher's Eye. So that's kind of my own solo efforts here. Same with the Dying Sun. But when the team's back on, we're going to be going hard. And we actually got a 10 Exalt Sword today for our boss killer, which we all chipped in a little bit for, and he was able to get that. So that's pretty cool. The rest of the team is going to be fully geared hopefully by this weekend, and that'll be a pretty good time. So moving on, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the chaos recipe. So I had a lot of comments in the last video saying, oh, Omega Laugh, the chaos recipe sucks. Oh wow, oh, how did you do that? He's lying. So there's a lot to the chaos recipe. It's definitely perceived as very bad and it's very inefficient. And if you approach it with that mindset, it will be. So you need to really employ a few min-max tactics to kind of get it going. You need a very good filter. You need to be very efficient, and you need to have a very good strategy for it. And you need to organize your stash tabs in a way that it's very, very quick to sell. In a like addition to that, you also do need to be prepared for a little bit of tedious gameplay. Selling all the items can be a little bit time consuming. The way I do it is like I'll open up a stream, like one of my favorites is like Marty or something like that, and while I'm watching Marty and typing in chat and stuff, I'll just be vendoring on my chaos recipe. It takes me about 20 minutes and I end up with like 200 chaos. So that's pretty nice. It is what it is. If you guys don't want to do that, you don't have to do the chaos recipe. There will be a guide coming up about how to min-max it. There's definitely quite a few tips and tricks. If you're just going in without them, you're probably not going to make a lot of money very quickly, but if you do have them, you're going to make tons like we did. And then, of course, when you're in a group, it all is so much faster, so much quicker. And just to clarify, we did have someone pretty much sitting in the hideout, like probably like 60% of his time, 70% of his time, just doing the chaos recipe to get the headhunter from the chaos recipe like we did. So, I mean, you can say what you want about that, but that's what we decided to go with. So, that's how we got it. So next up, my next plans. I'm planning on going with Autobomber. So Autobomber is a very, very good solo build, and it's very effective. So now that the first 3 days are over and everyone's days off is kind of past, it's a little bit difficult to stay in a group and play as a team. So I'm decided to kind of use my own currency I make in my spare time to make a very good solo character, and I wanted my strategy in the Atlas to reflect that. So I'm going to go over that in a second. But yeah, Autobomber is one of the fastest, most efficient farmers in the game, and it's very well suited to solo low difficulty content, and that is exactly what I decided to target. So I swapped over my Atlas because there's a few reasons. So high tier red maps are very difficult in the incursions. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you will get in there and the chaos guys will be around you and they will just slaughter you. They'll take you to like Hose Town and just completely end and ruin your day. And incursions are a really nice source of loot. So I was feeling a bit cheated there doing the red maps, and I was not having any of it. So I decided to respec my Atlas to tier 5 channels. And I'll be making a video about this coming up. It's very, very effective. I've made probably about 300 or 400 chaos off it solo, and then today I played with my teammate Switch, and we made another like 200 or 300, I think, which was very effective. So that was pretty cool. That's how I farmed up my Watcher's Eye, which is currently 8 exalts for my Auto Bomber. Pretty fun. Definitely better on a shield charge build though. And obviously you can see my influences up here now. Just to clarify, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, I tried your other strat. The other strat is still very effective. The temple, if you can get up to tier 15 and 16 maps, and you get in there, in the temple, and you open the map room, tier 1, 2, or 3, you're going to be making like 50, 60, 80 chaos just off those maps if you get lucky with 4 or 5 guardian maps. So that's going to be massive for you guys, and you'll be able to farm up a lot of currency like that. In addition, you're still going to have your Shaper and Elder bases from those. You're going to be able to get a lot more XP than anyone else, and you're going to get red sextants. And if you're playing in a group, you're going to have lots of juice. So that strategy is still very much valid, and if you guys are doing it, very, very good. If you're having trouble with the incursions like I was though solo, maybe downgrade to a lower tier strategy so you can not die as much. So that's going to be that. I did obviously get the Elder Orb as well. My Atlas looks a bit messy at the moment because it's in like kind of a transition phase, but I decided to get the Elder Orb because I needed it for my channel strategy. So there's a few things I wanted to point out with that. So at the moment, they changed Elder to be all you need to do to get the Elder Orb is kill 4 Guardians in red maps and Elder himself in red maps. So I set out to do that on day 4, and it was a little bit of a disaster. So my first attempt, I got them all down. We got to Elder. We got my teammate in Jodox, the boss killer we have, and we killed Elder. And I was like, oh no, what? Where's the memory fragment? It didn't drop. And I was pretty tilted. I was pretty mad. So the memory fragment didn't drop from Elder, and he was in the red maps. I was like, what's going on? So we decided to try it again, and it still didn't drop. So I spent like hundreds of chaos on all these maps and moving it around and hours and stuff like that, and it didn't drop 2 times in a row. So I decided to head over to Twitch, and I asked a few other people who had the Elder Orb, and this is what I learned. It turns out when you're getting the Elder Orb, you need Shaper to survive. If he doesn't survive, you will not get your Elder Orb. So you need to have a pretty good DPS kind of character in there who can survive and all that kind of stuff. So what I would recommend is finding a boss killer if you're not a boss killer yourself, or someone just geared up to help you out if you can't do it yourself. In addition to that, the Elder Orb is just only the first step. So once you kill the Red Elder, you'll get a quest. You then need to go kill Shaper. That'll give you the Elder Orb. But then if you want the final Sextant over here, you need to then kill Uber Elder, which I haven't done yet, because that's obviously a little bit more of a challenge. So that's kind of what we're going here. I'm going to fill in the rest of these red maps and do channels on my Autobomber for a little bit, and we'll see how that turns out, and I'll give you guys a bit of an update on how he turns out. So that's going to be that, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. So what you can expect coming up is a chaos recipe kind of min-maxing guide. I want to make a video on corruptions because I think there's a lot to be learned there. And obviously we've got our incursion guide coming up before the weekend as well. And then make sure you guys check out Bayclast coming up on, I think it's Saturday or Sunday. We've got a lot of really big people there, and it's going to be super duper fun and informative, I hope. So you can check that out on Tarky's Cat's channel. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the update. Sorry about no streams and the lack of videos. There will be more coming up, I guarantee it, and you guys can look forward to that. Thanks for all the support as always, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.